we confuse ourselves as living organisms with our idea of ourselves. That is to say, with a conception of myself which is called the personality or ego. That is what we have been told we are. Because you see, who you think you are is entirely dependent on who people have told you you are. You're not that.
What's up, fellow philosophers? Today in this video, I want to talk to you all about intelligence and the mind. To give you a new perspective of what these two things are, and a deep dive into the metaphysics of the mind. For the sake of this video, we'll be talking about the mind, brain, and ego as being defined as the same thing and will be used interchangeably. The mind is the animal brain. It can think, be in the past and future, but not present. The mind, or the ego, is trying to constantly have control over the tools of the body. But the mind is not intelligent. It may be able to remember past events and attempt to categorize information, but that is not intelligence. Intelligence is consciousness, because consciousness is in which we know everything. Consciousness is the experiencer and is fully aware of everything 24/7. The mind is the doership aspect, where consciousness is the being. Whenever you get an idea, the light bulb effect occurs. You instantaneously know the information. Explaining the ideas might take some time, but this is because we use the mind for that. But consciousness does not communicate with language. It is instantaneous. Feels like a re-remembering, deja vu, or downloading. This is because it's intelligence, not a tool of expressing intelligence like language is. In spirituality, we use the term awakening. Someone who is awake is someone who has experienced the truth, God, or intelligence. Awakening to intelligence, to consciousness. Jesus has multiple parables about not falling asleep or staying awake. And Jesus also says in Mark 8:34, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me," which is Jesus saying that they must forget about being the ego, denying themselves. And the term Buddha means awakened one. So someone who is awake is no longer hypnotized by the mind or the ego, and has realized that they are beyond the mind. So why is it that people aren't waking up? Well, it's because the mind lets itself be known and is trying to control, whereas consciousness just is. This is why just being present is a key role to waking up and staying awake. The mind overlooks consciousness. The mind can only know the information that the senses can gather. The mind is trying to constantly create attachments and identify it as stuff that you are not. So the goal is to let go of the attachments and identities by being aware of your attachments and identities. This is because consciousness, intelligence, is just knowing. 99% of people think they are the voice in their head. Awakening happens when you're fully detached from being the mind and are fully aware of its functions and its predictabilities. Because acting upon the ego is a subconscious action. People acting 100% out of the ego do not realize they are even acting upon something they are not, like they are hypnotized. And like Jesus said, a man cannot serve two masters. So how to tap into true intelligence is by not identifying to the mind or any aspects of the mind. Being present, the flow state, being in the zone. People who are in the zone express that they cannot make a wrong play. It is pure action without thought. You feel more like an observer than a doer, for you cannot be something that you are observing. This proves that you are not the body or the mind or the thoughts or the emotions. But although you are not these things, they are very useful tools. While it's not good to psychologically think in the future, it is okay to practically think of the future, such as scheduling something for tomorrow. And to use the tools is to just shift your awareness, your energy, towards the tool. Energy manipulation is the same as awareness shifting. So, go beyond the mind, be present, and use this framework to understand yourself even better. That's it for today's video. Like, subscribe, comment, and leave any more questions or topics that you would like me to talk about. Thanks for watching. Peace.